In this video, I'm going to show how I created a gallery which can filter my data set using multiple different filters. So first of all, we need to have our galleries. So these are vertical galleries, and if I click here, we can see there's a bunch of filters which I will go through later. But what you have to know now is that I am using this thing called collection. So this is my data source, so filter source, collection trainer. So why am I using collections? Collections is this sort of built-in data within Power Apps that will only exist when you create your Power App. So how do we get this collection? This is using if I go to apps, so I am getting my collection on start. So if I go to on start here, and I have a function called clear collect. So clear collect will remove any old data from the old collection in case there are any existing, and then I will put it into collection trainers, and then I will read from the dataset Singapore trainers. So this is my collection. And why do we need to create a collection? This is because if your data set is too big or there are too many columns, Power Apps actually cannot support, so you will get this thing called a delegation warning when you try to use certain functions with the actual data set itself. So what we do is we transfer the data set into a collection so that Power Apps can use it without any errors. Okay, and moving on, I have another gallery here called skill sets. So for this one, it's just reading from another table called skill sets, and then I sort it by the name. So first of all, let me show you the first filter, which is the name filter. And for the name filter, I am using the search function. So if I click here, go back to the gallery, can click on the search function. You can see here sort by source and expression. So my source is the filter, the whole filter itself. So it ends here. So you can click here. So once I filter everything, I have a certain set of data that is shorter than what is my existing based on the filters. And then after that, I will sort it by the name. So I have a text name value here. So this is the field itself. So text name would be this purple box, which is this purple box here. And then I will search it through the column. So crc90 underscore name, that is the column from the collection. And then finally I will retrieve back the name, and that would be what is left. That will be what will be left on this gallery here. Next, I have a few combo boxes. So ACTA, days, availability, and status. These are all combo boxes. So how do we add a combo box? Very easy. Just click here, search for combo box, and then we just drag and add it in. And for the values of the combo box, you can click here. Go alternate, and I click in. You can see here there's checkboxes that we can click to select, and then we can actually multi-select this as well. So I can click both, yes and no. And then I can remove them, and you can see the table changing based on what I've chosen. So how do we get these values? Okay, first of all, we have to use choices. So these choices would actually retrieve all the data that you have from your collection or your table, and then you will list out all of the different choices that are available. So for me, in this field is yes and no, so it lists out yes and no. And when you first use this choices function, it will actually just show numbers. And how do you review the words itself? You need to go to here, click on fields, edit, and then add value, and then there should be a value here for you to click, which I already done, so it's already here. But once you click that, it should show the words instead of some random numbers that will show up. And so these are all the same. And so how do we use this to filter? So these are all called combo boxes. So how we can find out what items are selected in the combo box is using this function here called selected items dot value, or selected items based on whatever is selected. So this is a list and this is a value. So I have a multiple combo boxes here, combo box for ACTA, days, availability, and status. So this is for skill sets. The top one is for skill sets, which I will explain later. But first, let us focus on the bottom one here first. So I have two functions here. So is blank and is empty. So this would both search when the field is empty and there's nothing selected, and then it will retrieve the value of all the rows. So why do we need both is blank and is empty? Okay, so this is because how Power Apps works is that when the apps first start up and then your combo box is blank, it will use is blank. However, if you have selected a field and then removed it, so you selected a combo box choice like yes, and then you removed it, it will not use is blank. Instead, it will use is empty. So that's why I need both. So I use is blank. So or is empty, or acta in my selected item. So this is a list, and then acta is the fields that I have in my row. So this will search for each row, and if the row is yes, and if my yes is selected in my acta, it will show my record of that row. And then the rest of it is the same. So for days, the same, availability is the same, and status is the same. So once I have all this, I will be able to filter based on all this, all the combo boxes here. So acta, days, availability, and status. And one more thing, if you need to enable multi-select, you need to click on the combo box, and then there's allow multi-select here. Just click on this, and then you'll be able to select both all the choices that are available to you. So this would allow you to use the selected items filter to get whatever you require. So now we have all the filters up here done. Let's move on to the skill sets, which is a bit more complicated. So the skill sets is a bit different from the rest of my filters, because although I am still using a combo box, if you can see down here, the orange combo box down here, you can go up, you can see here, okay, I'm using a combo box, but then it is different because my data set in skill sets is actually a string of multiple different skill sets. So I cannot just use I cannot just compare that string itself to the selected items, because that will not work. So actually what I need to do is I need to split the skill sets into multiple different skill sets instead. So for this, I'm using a count if. So if my result is true, I will count the record itself. So for all of the records, I am splitting the skill sets. So the skill set column, I am splitting each individual skill set string into each individual skill set. And from there, I will compare each individual skill set through the value. So value in my selected items. So in my combo box selected items. And if the result is true, I will count the rows here. So once this is done, the filter is set up. So if I select any of the skill sets using the combo box, okay, if I activate the combo box, edit. So if I select any of the skill sets in the combo box, for example, animation, yeah, the things will change. Or Fusion 360, yeah, so you can see here the existing trainers. But because this combo box is a bit long and a bit hard to look at, what we want to do is actually permanently put the checkboxes on the screen itself, so that we can easily filter it. So we keep it off this again to view only. We can see here the gallery which I've done earlier and I've shown you earlier. So first, what we need to do is to get the on check and on uncheck done first. So if I click into here, the checkbox itself, the individual checkbox, we have on uncheck and on check. So this is both the same. We just need to, okay, so this one can ignore the bottom one. So the important one there is you just need to collect. So same as before, we have a collection, but this time is for the skill sets. So we collect the skill sets, this item. So this would define that. So if I click on 2D design, it will collect 2D design into my collection. And for on uncheck, you do the opposite, which is to remove. So I am removing this item from the collection. So once that is done, we are actually adding the skill sets to a collection. So if I click this and then go to my collections, you can actually see here 2D design is the one in my collection. And how do we transform the selection here to my combo box here? This is using the combo box default items. So you can see here the items is here, but we have default selected items up here. So default selected items, you can see here I'm just using the collections.skillsets.name. So when I click on any of the skill sets here, it will actually assign the combo box with the selected item as well. And then from the combo box, I can filter it using this filter right here. And once that is all done, I should be able to use all the filters together to create filters. Lastly, what I have is an easy way to reset all the filters. So first of all, I have this reset skill sets button here. So for the reset skill sets button, if we go to our on select, I am just clearing the collection. I am resetting the combo box. And then for the reset all button, if you go to on select as well, I am resetting all the combo boxes and as well as the skill sets that I've selected just now. So same thing, so clear collection skill sets and then reset combo box skill sets. And can have a demo, simple demo here. So now just a short demo to check that everything works. So first of all, I have my data gallery here. I have all my filters available. So first of all, the name filter, if I want to search Ben, it will show up all the people that name have Ben in them. And then for ACTA, maybe no, then you will filter even more. Days also no. Availability, any day. So you all filter out. And then status, I don't have any status currently for any of my data, so it doesn't matter. But once I do this, I can click reset and everything will come back. So now maybe I want to do my skill sets now. So for let's choose React.js. Okay, and then can choose another one, JavaScript. And so these skill sets you can choose as many as you want, as long as there is data available, it should show up. So let me choose one more. How about CSS? Okay, CSS. So I have multiple trainers here with CSS, and then now I only want weekdays. So any day, I can choose any day or weekday, but you can see here there are no existing trainers. So these are all my trainers with the skill sets that I want.